Has woke culture gone too far? It's a question that can start an argument almost instantly. To its supporters, being woke simply means being alert to racism, sexism, discrimination, and other forms of social injustice. To its critics, however, woke culture has evolved into something very different. A culture of political correctness, censorship, public shaming, and ideological conformity. So, which interpretation is right? Has woke culture made society fairer and more inclusive? Or have good intentions produced a culture increasingly intolerant of disagreement? To answer that, we first need to understand what woke actually means. The word woke originally emerged from African American vernacular, particularly the idea of staying awake or alert to racial injustice. During the 2010s, especially alongside movements such as Black Lives Matter, the term entered mainstream political language. But something interesting then happened. The meaning expanded. Being woke increasingly became associated not only with racial equality, but with gender, sexuality, historical injustice, representation, language, privilege, and identity. And eventually, opponents began using the word as a criticism. Today, two people can use the word woke while referring to completely different things. For one person, it means basic social awareness. For another, it means an excessive form of progressive identity politics. That distinction is crucial. Before condemning woke culture, we should acknowledge what the movement towards greater social awareness has achieved. Societies do sometimes normalize behavior that later generations recognize as unjust. Racial segregation, discrimination against women, criminalization of homosexuality, and exclusion of people with disabilities were all defended, at various points, as simply part of the established social order of previous generations. Social progress therefore requires people who are willing to question accepted norms. Modern social movements have also forced institutions to confront uncomfortable issues involving discrimination, workplace harassment, representation, and unequal treatment. Indeed, language matters too. Words can reinforce stereotypes, humiliate minorities, or normalize prejudice. Asking people to consider how their behavior affects others is not inherently authoritarian. In fact, empathy and respect are essential components of a functioning society. So perhaps the problem isn't being socially conscious. The problem begins when social consciousness becomes ideological certainty. A healthy democracy requires more than equality. It also requires disagreement. Universities, workplaces, governments, and the media should allow people to challenge prevailing ideas without automatically being treated as immoral or being penalized with dismissal. Yet critics of woke culture argue that political disagreement has increasingly become moralized. Instead of saying, "I think you're wrong," the accusation can become, "Your opinion makes you a bad person, so you should be punished." And that distinction matters. Once disagreement is interpreted as evidence of racism, sexism, hatred, or some other moral failing, people become reluctant to speak openly. Social media intensifies this phenomenon. A badly phrased comment can be recorded, reposted, and presented to millions of people within hours. Context disappears, outrage spreads faster than explanation, and punishment can become disproportionate to the original offense. This is where the idea of cancel culture enters the debate. Accountability is necessary. People should sometimes face consequences for genuinely harmful behavior. But accountability and permanent social destruction are not the same thing. A society incapable of forgiveness, context, or intellectual disagreement risks replacing tolerance with fear. And here we reach the central contradiction. A movement designed to promote tolerance can itself become intolerant. If diversity is valuable, shouldn't that include some diversity of opinion? This doesn't mean every opinion deserves equal respect. Racist abuse, deliberate harassment, and incitement to violence cannot simply be excused as free speech. But there is an enormous territory between hate speech and complete ideological agreement. People can disagree about immigration. They can disagree about gender policy. They can disagree about affirmative action, religion, policing, colonial history, or how governments should address inequality. The existence of disagreement does not automatically prove the existence of hatred. A liberal society must therefore perform a difficult balancing act, protecting vulnerable people without protecting ideas from criticism. So, has woke culture gone too far? In some respects, yes. When social justice becomes censorship, when disagreement becomes moral condemnation, and when punishment becomes disproportionate to the offense, the pursuit of tolerance can become strangely intolerant. But rejecting everything described as woke would be equally simplistic. Many of the underlying principles, equality, dignity, opposition to discrimination, and greater awareness of injustice, are fundamental achievements of modern liberal democracy. Perhaps then the real problem isn't woke culture itself, it's extremism. Progress without tolerance becomes authoritarian, but tolerance without progress can preserve injustice. The challenge is finding the space between them, where we can defend equality and free expression, challenge prejudice and tolerate disagreement. Because perhaps the healthiest society isn't one where nobody is offended. It's one where people with profoundly different beliefs can still talk to each other. What do you think? Has woke culture made society better, or has it gone too far? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this discussion, like the video, subscribe, and join us for the next one. In the meantime, stay curious and keep asking questions.